So I want to talk about several cases with distribution. And again, we'll revisit this example. Again, we're going to distribute that -3. I'm going to subtract -3 times 2. So -3x minus -6, or -3x, and that double negative becomes a positive. And again, what people will do sometimes, they'll do a shortcut. -3x, and they'll say, treat this as -3 times -2 is +6. They'll do that also. Now, another special case, and you'll run into this from time to time, is this, a minus sign outside of the parentheses. And there's a couple ways you can look at this. We can call this a -1. And so we distribute the -1. We get -1 times x minus -1 times 3. Now, -1 times x is -x. And this will be subtract -1 times 3 is -3. And again, double negative, -x plus 3. That's one way people do this. Now, there's another way. Sometimes when you have a minus just attached to a parenthesis like that, we call it the opposite operator. And what it does, it just changes the sign of a number. So if you apply the opposite operator to a +5, that is now a -5. And if you apply the opposite operator to an already -5, double negative, you get a +5. Read that there we go. We'll treat, sorry, it looks like the connection was not there for a moment. We'll treat this as something we can distribute to the elements inside the parentheses, and it'll switch the signs. So if you have a minus x minus 3, this x is positive. I mean, it could represent a negative number. That is possible. But the symbol itself appears to be positive. And this right here, that +3 will become negative. So now we're subtracting a -3, double negative. You get x plus 3. And again, what people will do, there's another shortcut you can do with this. They'll distribute that. So this will become a -x. And then negative and negative is positive. People will make that shortcut. So the last thing I want to point out with distribution, variables and numbers. Suppose we have this. Let's call this, yeah, we'll leave it like that. Distribute the 3x. And what we'll get, 3x times 2x plus 3x times 4. Now, here, what we're going to get, multiply the numbers. It's like you have 3x's and you get, you have 4 3x's. So you get a total of 12x. And the 3 and the 2 multiply to give us a 6. But what happens when we multiply x times x? Well, recall that 3 times 3, we would call that 3 squared. I'll use a dot here. It's the same with x. X times x is x squared. So x times x, the numbers will multiply together and be their own thing. The x's will multiply to be x squared. And that's as far as you can go. So any questions about that, let me know.